Hello, this is Matthew from Made for Math. Thank you for joining me. Today I am talking about finding the area of a rectangle. Now, the word area has Latin roots, meaning vacant, a piece of level ground, or open space in a town. Very simply, area means space covered. Think area rugs. It's the amount of space inside the boundary of a two-dimensional object, an object that is flat and has a length and a width. So when we talk about area, we're talking about finding space covered by a two-dimensional object. Now, the flat shape whose area we are discovering today is the rectangle. And we're going to build rectangles and discover the space they cover, their area. And so to do that, I'm going to go into the Braining Camp website and use their Color Tiles app. And I am going to start by bringing a rectangle onto the board right here. And take the grid off, and I'm going to build a rectangle that is 2 by 5. So that has a width of 2 and a length of 5 units. Now, I'm unsure about the exact measurements, so I will label each side U for units. So 2 units by 5 units. Now, how many squares will it take to cover the surface of this rectangle? What would be the space covered? Or the area? How could we figure this out? Would we count the spaces or we multiply? I'm going to send a square unit into each spot to cover the surface of this rectangle. And we can see that I have 10 square units. The way we write this with an equation would be 2 units times 5 units equals 10 units squared. This unit squared explains that the answer is made up of squares who have 2 dimensions and their sides are the size of 1 unit. So we have the units squared. Let's build another rectangle, this time 5 by 4. So we're going to have a width of 5 and a length of 4. What is the space covered? I'm going to count by 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. The space covered is 20 units squared. The formula for this would be 5 units times 4 units equals 20 units squared. Pretty awesome. Now let's go into the whiteboard here and let's see if we can find the space that is covered by this square. And each of these smaller pieces are going to represent 1 square unit. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's not perfect, but it's close. We would say that the area or the space covered this rectangle this square would be 4 units squared. Or if we have a height of 2 units and a base of 2 units, two times 2, or 2 units times 2 units equals 4 units squared. All right, let's go back into Braining Camp and use a different app inside of this website, and let's build a rectangle with dimensions of 10 units wide and 20 units long. So I'm going to bring these two 10s and I'm going to rotate them to show that my rectangle will be 10, 20 units long. Well, if I find the area of this, that would be 100, and the space covered would be 100, 200 square units, 200 units squared. I have my height of 10 and my base of 20 units. I can write this equation out as 10 units times 20 units equals 200 units squared. And to close, let's try finding the area of this rectangle when we do not have pictures. So staying with our formula of base times height, or multiplying our length times width, we would do 6 units times 10 units equals 60 units squared. The space covered by this rectangle, the area, would be 60 units squared. Well, that is a demonstration of finding the area of a rectangle. I hope to see you again soon.